got one that can see.
Hey, yo, what's up, y'all? It's Rebel Rob coming at you one more again. Yo, we're going to do a little science experiment today. Science experiment. Well, I've been asked many times about proving that circumnavigation can be done on a flat Earth. Well, that's what we're going to be doing today, and we'll be getting to that shortly. But I needed to address a couple of things, because the reason that we're even having to do this is because people believe that we live on a ball. That's what we were taught since elementary school, since preschool, really. And so people see me walking around with these type of things on, and you know, it grabs their attention, so it starts a discussion. And because I no longer believe that we live on a ball, that we live on a globe, and that we actually live on a flat, plain, non-moving earth, as it says in the Bible. So it's people like Neil deGrasse Tyson and Bill Nye, the the science guy, who continually put out these videos, and they even have their shows. You know, they're paid by the government to do these things, to continue to push the fact that we live on this ball earth when we actually do not. And so a lot of their so-called experiments that they've done to show that when ships go out to sea, that they actually, after a few miles, actually go over a curve because you no longer see them, is because that it actually goes over a curve. That's what they say. It goes over a curve, and that's the curve. You know, that's where the earth begins to curve. That's why you can no longer see it, which makes absolutely no sense.
The ball earth. The horizon is just the vanishing line of perspective from your point of view. You can use a telescope or binoculars and zoom in on the horizon, and something that's been completely disappeared beyond the horizon, like a ship, can come all the way back into view, proving that that is not the curvature of the earth you're looking at, as they tell you, but it's just the vanishing line of perspective from your point of view. And they used to, and they still use that as a proof of the ball earth. They say that ships going away, as you see their hulls disappear before the masthead, because they're going over the curvature of the earth. Yet we've got technology now to prove that that's wrong, but they'll still keep saying it. I put it in my videos. I'll put it right here. I'll put it in this video of me talking about this right now. You may be watching this on YouTube. You're watching a horizon shot, seeing a boat that was out of view. Now it's completely into view, so you can see that that is not the curvature of the ball.
See, what you have to understand is that what we're told is that the earth is 25,000 miles in circumference. And to properly calculate curvature, you have to use a formula that we learned in middle school, where we take 8 inches per mile squared in order to properly calculate the so-called curvature. And when you do that, then you're supposed to be able to identify how much curvature, depending on a certain square miles out, or a certain miles or distance out, that the earth actually curves at that point, depending on the distance that you're calculating. So, which means that I shouldn't be able to see the city of Chicago from 40, 50, 60 miles away. I shouldn't be able to see the islands in Hawaii. I forget the name of them, but I'll look it up. That's 90 miles away. Shouldn't be able to see that because it should be under almost a mile of curvature. So we're going to examine this theory, because that's all it is a theory. The Big Bang is a theory. It's not fact. It's not real, but it's taught in our schools. The globe is a theory. It's not a fact. It's not taught, but it's being taught in our schools as being fact. The Earth's core is a theory. It's not fact, but it's being taught as fact in our schools. And how can anyone know that the Earth has crust, mantle, and a core when the deepest hole ever dug was 8 miles? So how is that? But you're teaching this crap as fact in our schools and grading us, testing us, quizzing us on this crap, on these theories that are not true. The only thing that is true is, like right now, we're not spinning at 1,000 miles an hour. They teach us that the Earth is spinning at 1,000 miles an hour. Around the sun is 67,000 miles an hour. which the sun is traveling through the Milky Way at over 600,000 miles an hour. It's ridiculous. I don't feel the wind. If it's spinning that fast, I should feel the wind. A matter of fact, oh man, you ever heard of continental shifting? You know, where they say the continents have been shifting and moving and stuff. Well, if the earth is spinning at 1,000 miles an hour, then that means that all of the continents, islands, everything should be at the equator, because that's where it's spinning the fastest, right? So if it's spinning the fastest in the middle, then everything, all the continents should be located at the equator. But they're not, because we're not spinning or moving. We're on a immovable, flat plane that is stationary. So what we're going to do today is show how circumnavigation is done. It's really simple on the flat Earth map. So we're going to get to that. All right, I got the flat Earth map here. This is Gleason's new standard map of the world, AE map. Very popular map here. Let me take this stuff out. East, west, on the map, circumnavigation is what we're talking about. I'm not fixing to get into the curve right now. I'll do that in a minute when I do my rant. So, what we know is north is here. I'm here in the United States. North is that way. In Russia, north is that way. Africa, north is this way. Everywhere, north is in the center right here. We know Mount Meru is, but that's on another story. So that's where I'm going to place my magnet. As you can see, this is north. It's my magnet. My compass is here. Let me use my other magnet. It's a little stronger, but I'm gonna have to pick up on my compass a little bit so you can see it change. So there we go. So as we travel north, there you saw it adjust. And we're traveling west. The needle, or north, is always going to point north. This is north, this is north. It's always pointing north. My plane, yippee, is still traveling west. As you can see, north is still north. It's not changing. Plane is still traveling west. Let's go east now. Going east. Did you notice what's happening as we're traveling? What's going on? It's going in a circle, which is what happens on a flat Earth map. When you're going east to west, you're going in a circle. North is still north, still pointing north to Mount Meru. North is still north. And we're still traveling east. North is still north. That means south is down here. South is that way. South is that way. South is that way. Let me pull back out. What do we see? Oh, wrong way. So what do we see when we travel south? We see the Antarctic ice wall. Just like on your globe, they have Antarctica all squished up at the bottom of the globe. But that's not the case. It's one big ice wall. And it's holding all the water in. Holding all the water in. The water is level and flat. So, north is still north. We're traveling east. We're going around in a circle. It's no different than the wind. The wind travels around in a circle. It's not that up and down stuff that they show you on the on manipulated meteorologist world map. It goes around in a circle, but that'll be a different video. We'll discuss that later. So, north is still north. East is still east. And we're traveling in a circle. We're traveling in a circle. Let's go west, traveling in a circle. Now, thing is, everybody say, well, okay, they understand the east-west. What about the north-south? So, with the north-south situation, here we go. If I travel north from the United States, boom, I fly over the Arctic. I end up in China, Russia, whatever that area is. And if you know anything about the military, United States-Canadian DEW line, that's a military line that's placed here above the United States, crossing over the southern tip of, over North America, crossing over the southern tip of Greenland. That is a militarized line that is used for defense in the event that Russia decides they want to start shooting stuff over here. That militarized line or DEW line is there, which doesn't work on a world map. Just saying. We'll discuss that in another video. So, traveling south, we hit Antarctica. Traveling south, we hit Antarctica. Now they say, well, people have circumnavigated across Antarctica. No, they haven't. No one's crossed over Antarctica because there's nothing out here. There's nothing else that we know, that we've been told has been discovered. So beyond Antarctica. Alright, so as you can see, we finished the experiment, and as stated, circumnavigation is possible on the flat earth. All you're doing is going around in a circle, people. That's it. If you're traveling east to west, you're going around in a circle. You're going to come back to exactly where you started. If you go north to south, you're going to end up here in Antarctica. Here we go. East to west. Here, you're going around in a circle. Going around in a circle. You travel north, bam. You hit up here in this area. What's that? This was Greenland. Right here, this little tiny dot. And this right here in the center is where you'll find Mount Meru. But that's another story. We'll get into that at another time. But if you travel south in any direction, you're gonna hit Antarctica. Now it seems like everybody that leaves this country, everybody that leaves other countries, know that the earth is flat. This is the sign or symbol of the UN. They know that the earth is flat. If you look at the logos for different types of military navigation, the avionics, they know the earth is flat. Just look up flat earth logos. Just Google it, and you'll see that all the country leaders, all of these navigation companies, all of them use the same flat earth map because they know the earth is flat. What they do is tell us that we live on a globe. So somebody's lying to us. So they know the earth is flat, but they teach us that we live on a globe. Why? That's a bigger conspiracy. But you know me, I'm Rebel Rob. That's what I look into. That's why I got my glasses on. All right, y'all. So, like, share, and subscribe to the video, and just continue to promote truth, push truth to everyone that you know. And like I said, if you have any questions, comments, disagree, go ahead and leave them in the comments section. Don't use profanity, please. Don't act childish. Don't act dumb and stupid, because I will delete and block. Thank you.
Either put on these glasses or start eating that trash can.
RebelRobTV.